But we're really a republic. We're not necessarily a democracy, but we are a republic. And damn it, he saved it. And of course, you have people today criticizing him because he slept with a black lady and had children. Now, come on.
Well, let's. Is there some way that we can tie this together? This intrinsic symbolism that seems to be in city grids and monuments and buildings. We mentioned Skull and Bones, of course, Illuminati, the Bilderbergers. We've got the whole group of them. Is that the foundation of where we are today? Is that the major foundation? Well, and if you chip away at it, can you undo the damage or no?
Yes, you can. You can by individuals being allowed to be free to do research into these particular areas. That's going to take a long time, no two ways about it, but you know what's ahead of us in a couple of years ahead. What is going to happen with our country physically, even though we are being told, yeah, we're going to have floods, bigger hurricanes and everything, we're going to have more Katrinas and that kind of thing, you can see that we are helpless, literally helpless when these big things come along, and yet the worst, much worse, is yet to come. Before, when we had these tornadoes and hurricanes, they would you noticed in 20 years ago, they were always taking place in areas where there were very few people. And, I think that one of the reasons why that was because of prayer. There were a lot of people praying for our country, praying to see for our country to wake up and that kind of thing. And I think right now we are in a situation where America will no longer be in the situation that it has been for the last several decades. It is not going to be able to control the planet. China, or China, whatever you want to call it, China it's in the cards. In the years ahead, in the decades ahead, China is going to be El Bigo on the planet. Whoa. And unfortunately, with the earth changes that are coming, our country is going to struggle with a landmass that is not all congruous. In other words, we're going to be broken up into a group of islands.
Right.
We have misused our power, and I think karma is going to take that.
I guess when that happens, then we could call it Decade of the Rat instead of Year of the Rat. It'd be Decade of the Rat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, thank you for allowing me to talk about these things. You have a terrific show, and you're lucky to have the kind of listeners and support that you have, but you earned it. It didn't come easy, obviously, and I can only suggest that your listeners please go to UnitedSymbolismOfAmerica.com. You don't have to buy my book. If you buy my book, that's nice too, but please check out these symbols. Check out the meanings of them. It's all there. You don't have to pay anything. You can print it all out for free. And unfortunately, it is our way of doing a little bit of service in trying to wake people up that our nation laid the foundation for a republic in the sense that it will eventually, with the rest of the planet, be the foundation for a republic on the planet. We're not supposed to force our republic on other people. Where the other nations are supposed to look at us as a leader and say, hey, isn't that great? I think we ought to do that. We shouldn't be going in there and taking over governments, which we do. It never ends down there in Central and South America with Chiquita. I call it Chiquita, but it's really I've forgotten their name already. How do you like that? United Fruit Company. It goes on and on down there. Yeah. They buy governments, they take things over, and the government says, no, that's wrong. But it happens again and again. But freedom of speech is really key, and fortunately your show is allowing people to share that. And I can only suggest that if you've got some time to talk to other researchers in cold fusion that is making waves all over the planet now, but not in the United States because of the peer-reviewed papers, unfortunately, in the past would not allow this material to be published, but now it is being published elsewhere, and because of that, there's enough pressure now that you will start seeing cold fusion not be called cold fusion, but something else. But it is extremely important. It's going to take a long time, unfortunately, to tap that particular energy. Okay.
All right, Doctor, I appreciate you coming on the program. Can we have you on again sometime?
Anytime you want, give me a call, and if I'm not... right now we're doing a special with the Discovery Channel, a 2-hour special on my book, in which all the scholars that were in my book are being interviewed. It'll be shown repeatedly on Discovery Channel, October, November. And the great thing I like about that is Discovery Channel's the planet. It's not just a network, it is the entire planet. And that's the reason why it's good now to see my book published in Russia, Germany, Spain, France, Mexico, Japan, etc. Only because this material, if I had to depend upon the American media, it never would happen. Because to most people within the media, symbols are just symbols. Who cares? Well, symbols really are the key to consciousness, as Carl Jung and Rollo May and Joseph Campbell and Maslow and scores of other individuals have told us a long time ago, that when a nation loses its symbol system or its mythological system, it will go into chaos. That is where we have been headed, in the sense that the only things our media wants us to know about are physical things. Do you think the media would ever, or our government would ever want you to become psychic? Do you think so?
No.
Not a chance.
No.
Not
of course
a chance.
not. No. They want us to keep our eyes on Britney Spears or Michael Jackson.
That's correct. They want you, if you're going to do any celebrating, make sure it's alcohol. Make sure it's alcohol, because if it's alcohol, it's going to keep you in your lower bodies and keep you into the physical. Don't ever allow it to be such things as terrible marijuana, because marijuana elevates awareness and consciousness and is a healing herb. There's no two ways about it. The documentation is overwhelming in that area. But our government is much more interested in your buying alcohol and anything that keeps you as a consumer. They want us to just consume, like our president told us after 9/11. Go out and buy stuff. It's going to make you feel better. I don't think that solved our problem.
That was pretty stupid. Yeah, that was pretty stupid. Well, when I was just thinking,
he got away with it, though.
I was just thinking that the biblical text says that the original man was put in a garden, not in a city. So corporations put man into a city so that they could sell to them. That's what I come up with.
Well, Daniel, I think I wish you would say some things that I disagree with, but I can't disagree with most of the things you say, because you've already thought these things out. You've had to kind of guess on that obviously other shows wouldn't touch or wouldn't discuss, and I think that's where they made a very big mistake, because higher consciousness, the key to higher consciousness is service to other people, helping other people out. You don't have to make any big issue of it. Certainly, you should volunteer. We are our brother's keeper. We're going to need that if we're going to keep our communities together, because our government is not going to be able to do that. We saw what happened in Katrina. Katrina wasn't as big as the kind of things that we're ready to. When you look at Iowa, Iowa may be in this situation for the rest of who knows how long. The predictions are that the Mississippi River is going to widen into a huge torrent of water coming down from the Great Lakes, separating our country. And so the middle part of our bread basket ain't going to be producing as much bread as it used to.
And you can't eat oil.
You notice that?
Yeah.
That's right. You can't. Thank you for having me very much. Daniel.
Okay. All right, then.
Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Edge with Daniel Ott. To subscribe to The Edge newsletter, log on to theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com, where you can find out more about the guests and topics discussed on the air. The Edge is being brought to you by Internet Solutions, home of affordable website design and low-cost Internet access. Visit Internet Solutions at es4.com. That's es4.com. Until next week, for the Edge Radio broadcast, I'm Chris Moore. See you on the Edge.
News on the USA Radio Network is next.